Good evening, Rockville. Today is March 3rd, 2025, and we'll begin meeting 7-25. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Join as you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, so we have some exciting announcements this part, and I just wanted to flag this is one of our newer meetings where we're doing proclamations and recognitions at 5:30. We'll break and reconvene our meeting at 6:30. My colleagues will be joining me to recognize the Rockville-Montgomery Swim Club achieving 2024 gold medal status, as well as the RM High School 2024 Girl Individuals Cross Country State Champion. And then we have several proclamations, including MS Awareness Week, Harriet Tubman Day, and National Vietnam Wars Veteran Day. Please join me, colleagues. Dr. Miles, you're up first.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks for the opportunity to read this certificate of recognition on behalf of the residents of Rockville. The mayor and council are pleased to present this certificate to the athletes and coaches of the Rockville-Montgomery Swim Club. This is in recognition of its many achievements, whereas Rockville-Montgomery Swim Club has been named by USA Swimming as the #9 swimming team in the United States for 2024 out of 2,800 registered clubs and awarded gold medal status. Gold medal status recognizes the top 1% of more than 2,000 swim teams across the United States. These honors show that hard work and dedication pay off. We celebrate your past, present, and future success. And I think here to accept the certificate of recognition, I think we have the coaches here. I think Coach Green, Coach Gandhi, and swimmers Jaden, Alyssa, Giselle, Megan, Vincent, Ethan, and Tyler. If they're here, please come forward to be recognized.
Thanks a lot, guys. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. 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 Congratulations.
Nice job. Congrats. All right, this is for you. Do you want to come take a picture? Come on in.
Yeah,
It is ours.
I
know, right? Not us. Feel free to. Let's move up.
You guys, we're just gonna
We got
look
to
over
angle
there.
this way, guys.
So you guys got to come out a little bit.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Congratulations once again.
All right, so we are next going to recognize a fabulous athlete. Now, she's here. So, Emma, why don't you come up? Now, for those of you who don't know, Emma Colavito is one of the greatest, one of the best runners, not only in the, you can start right here. Emma Colavito was not only one of the best runners in the county, but one of the most amazing runners in the state. Now, last year in the cross country state championships. Now, if you don't know about athletics, cross country is one of the most attended by all athletes across the county. There is thousands and thousands of athletes across the state who compete. And in the state championships, Emma won by 5 seconds. Now, for those who don't know, you've got hundreds of athletes going through the area. To win by 5 seconds is incredible. One of the largest win ratios of the entire state championships across the state. Well, if that isn't enough, just a few weeks ago, they had the indoor track state championships. Now, 5 seconds is pretty good, but Emma won the indoor championships in the 3,200 meters by 11 seconds. That is a dramatic victory. I've fortunately been in some races that I've won nothing close to a state championships. I've never won by 11 seconds. She was literally resting up and stretching before the second place got there. It was an incredible achievement. And as a Richard Montgomery alum, I'm proud to read this proclamation. So this is a certificate of recognition on behalf of the residents of Rockville. The mayor and council are pleased to present this certificate to Emma Colavito in honor of her 2024 Girls Cross Country Individual title. And we also have a second certificate of recognition on behalf of the residents of Rockville. The mayor and council are pleased to present this additional certificate of recognition to Emma Colavito in honor of her 2025 Girls Indoor Track Individual title. Congratulations, Emma.
Thank you.
And we're going to do
I think we've ever had two certificates before, have we?
Yay for the short people.
Congratulations.
I really think that's the first time we've had two certificates at the same time. I'm very honored to read this proclamation about Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week, MS. My father, a Vietnam War era veteran, he had chronic progressive multiple sclerosis. He was diagnosed in 1985 and passed away about 5 years ago. We were very blessed for the entire time that he was with us, but it is a mysterious syndrome, and it can affect, it affects women more than men. It affects Black women more than white women. There's a lot that we don't know about it, and there's still a lot of research that needs to be done. I'm hopeful that at the end of whatever happens on the federal level, we will continue to do research into the cause of MS. I know that it affects many people's lives here in the city staff, residents, but I can tell you that it really does not prevent you from living your life to the fullest, as my dad taught me very much. Whereas multiple sclerosis is a neurological disease of the central nervous system affecting nearly 1 million people in the United States alone. And whereas multiple sclerosis generally strikes people in the prime of life between ages 20 through 50, and the cause and course of the often debilitating symptoms of multiple sclerosis remain unknown and no cure currently exists. Now, therefore, the mayor and council do hereby proclaim and recognize March 9th through 15th, 2025 as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week. And we encourage all Rockville residents to learn more about MS and what they can do to support individuals with MS and their families. I know it'll mean a lot to their families. Madam Mayor, I move the proclamation.
All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So I know we just concluded Black History Month, but it's important that we celebrate our diverse history all year long. And today we're going to be recognizing Harriet Tubman Day. And Harriet Tubman is someone who means a lot to me growing up and still serves as an inspiration. Before my mother passed, she gave me a painting of Harriet Tubman. And I didn't know exactly what she meant at the time, but it has served as a reminder for me throughout my life. Harriet Tubman is someone who exemplifies courage, who never gave up, and even when her own life was on the line, she sought to act in service of others. I think that the state of Maryland is very fortunate to be able to call Harriet Tubman a daughter. And there is a wonderful tribute to her on the Eastern Shore. I had a chance to visit it twice. I would encourage everyone to do so. She has led many people to freedom. She also was a key player in supporting the U.S. government in terms of the Union Army and helping free many enslaved peoples as well as helping soldiers. So with that, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Ross around 1822 on a plantation in Dorchester County, Maryland, she had 8 brothers and sisters, but the realities of slavery eventually forced the family apart. And whereas while enslaved in Dorchester County, Maryland, Harriet was beaten and whipped by various masters as a child and suffered emotional and physical scars that carried the effects throughout her life. In 1849, she escaped to Philadelphia and then returned to Maryland to rescue her family. Soon after, slowly, one group at a time, she brought relatives out of the state and eventually guided other enslaved people to freedom utilizing the Underground Railroad. Traveling by night in secrecy, Tubman, also known as Moses, never lost a passenger. And as a fugitive, after the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 was passed, she helped guide people farther north into Canada and helped newly freed enslaved people to find work. Harriet Tubman met John Brown in 1858 and helped him plan and recruit supporters for his 1859 raid on Harper's Ferry. When the Civil War began, she worked for the Union Army as a cook, a nurse, and as an armed scout and a spy, as well as being the first woman to lead an armed expedition in war. Harriet Tubman became an icon of courage, resilience, determination, and freedom. And on March 9, 1990, President George Bush Sr. proclaimed March 10th as a national holiday to honor her birthday. Now, therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville, Maryland, do hereby proclaim March 10th as Harriet Tubman Day and call upon the people of Rockville to observe this day to help our families, friends, neighbors, coworkers, and leaders understand the value and courage of Harriet Tubman's service and her life to Maryland and to America. Do we have a move? Thank you, Councilmember Schuth for moving. Second, Councilmember Van Grack. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Yes. And welcome Sheila Bashiri. Would you like to say a few words?
No comments.
Okay.
You said everything that I would have said.
She is a historian, Sheila Bashiri, and she could probably tell us some fantastic stories to us. So thank you for all you do to recognize the history in the city of Rockville. Thank you, and all of our history. Do you want to take a picture?
All right. I'm honored to have the designation to present the Vietnam War Veterans Day on March 29th, 2025, on behalf of my mayor and colleagues. And I will just go ahead and read. Whereas the Vietnam War was one of the most brutal, over 3 million people were killed during the 20 years it went on, and National Vietnam War Veterans Day was created to honor all the men and women who fought during its time. And whereas the Vietnam War has a long history, it was one of the longest wars involving America. Starting in 1955, the war went on until 1975. And whereas, understanding that it wasn't the soldier's choice to go to war, U.S. Senators Pat Toomey, Republican of Pennsylvania, and Joe Donnelly, Democrat of Indiana, introduced a legislation proposing the anniversary of the withdrawal of military units for South Vietnam as the date. And now, therefore, the mayor and council of the city of Rockville, Maryland, do hereby proclaim March 29, 2025 as Vietnam War Veterans Day in the city and encourage all community members to honor all war veterans and to thank them for their service. Madam Mayor, I move the proclamation.
Thank you. We have a second, Councilmember Larry. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
And accepting the proclamation is Randy Phillip, the commander of the American Legion Post, and Levelle Ferrell, a U.S. Army veteran, and James Crampton is also a U.S. Army veteran, Vietnam era.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is very special for us here at the American Legion Post 86. My name is Randy Phillip. I am commander of Post 86. And we're just pleased that you're able to do this for us. My veterans that I have in my family at the post are very active, and we're trying to keep it going. So thank you again very much. Appreciate it, comrade. And I'd like to introduce Levelle Ferrell. He's my chaplain and also a Vietnam veteran. He's got a few words to say, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, who is a Vietnam veteran and what qualifies you to be a Vietnam veteran? To describe that, those who served duty in the U.S. Armed Forces at any time during the period of November 1st, 1955 to May 15th, 1975, regardless of duty location. We do not use the phrase Vietnam era when commemorating, celebrating Vietnam veterans. Now, in some places, in some documents, you see Vietnam era. That would be me. I was not drafted during that tumultuous time. I felt compelled to serve my country, so I joined the Army in October 1974. But at that time, the war was winding down, and they were not deploying people to the country of Vietnam. But I still stand in that era as a Vietnam veteran. And we continue to serve. And just because I joined, there should be no distinction between those who was drafted. They should be honored just as much as I was. Okay? Lastly, this is very emotional for me, okay? This is why my fellow veteran Vietnams are so grateful for, after so many years, that we were disparaged, called baby killers, was not accepted, that over the past few years we've been getting that honor for proclamations as such like this. And that's why we are so grateful to the city of Rockville. And we continue to serve. In American Legion, our motto is still in service. And we have joined the city of Rockville on many, many occasions over the years, such as on Veterans Day, the 11th day, the 11th hour, the 11th month, each year for years and years. The annual memorial parade we participated in, always. So on behalf of us fellow Vietnam veterans and Legionnaires who are here and those who for whatever reason could not be here, we are so proud to be able to personally thank our Rockville mayor and Rockville city government officials for allowing us to be participants with so many of these momentous occasions over the years. And that's why we say, for God and country. Thank you.
I didn't have a hold of it. Come on, guys. Levelle. Here you go. You hold it, we're gonna face this way. There you go. All right, Jimmy? Thanks, comrade. No problem. Thank you very much. Thank you. How you doing? Hey, thank you. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I have the honor of reading the last proclamation for today, which is for Women's History Month. Whereas women of various backgrounds have been leaders in movements that include the fight for emancipation, women's suffrage, civil rights, and overall peace. And whereas women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of life, locally, nationally, and worldwide. And the 2025 theme for Women's History Month is Moving Forward Together, Women Educating and Inspiring Generations. And whereas women impact the United States of America, the state of Maryland, and the city of Rockville, holding leadership roles in government, nonprofit organizations, and private industry. And whereas women continue to work to break barriers and stereotypes that keep them from successfully rising to the top. Now, therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville do hereby proclaim March 2025 as Women's History Month and urge everyone to celebrate the women in their lives. Madam Mayor, I move the proclamation.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Councilmember Jackson seconds. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye. It is unanimous.
And I believe we have our own important and impactful woman, former Councilmember Virginia Onley, to come say a few words.
I just want to thank the Mayor and Council for the honor and the privilege to be here this evening and to accept this proclamation. Women's History Month is so important to me, and it's just warms my heart that our city takes the time to honor those women who have made a difference and who we are lucky to have had in history. Thank you so much. Photo op. Thank you. Good seeing you all. Thank you.
Now you're gonna go down the whole time, like.
Thank you.
I'll give you a hug.
Oh my God, we're all doing hugs. I know, right?
I can't like miss out on a hug now. Like,
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Rockville, for participating in these proclamations and recognitions. Delighted to honor Women's History Month. Think about those who are impacted by MS, to honor our veterans, as well as to celebrate some of our young achievers who are setting new records and creating a new history. We are so proud of you. Swim fast and run fast. So we'll be back at 6:30, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take care.